isn't the biggest issue in the world here. Don't try it at home, everyone, but yeah, for now it's okay.
Now, I'll make sure to bring us back to this one before it finds its way to its real conclusion, but we do have 8 games in play. So first, what I'd like to do is maybe hop over to 2 of our newcomers, in Ray Robson and Sam Sevian, guys playing on home soil, David Howe, but this is maybe one of the matchups where it feels like one of our players has actually found a solid advantage fairly early on. I see the computer giving slightly over a point advantage here towards Ray Robson with the white pieces.
Another position that's almost symmetrical, but there are 2 big standout factors. One, that white has a pawn in the center, which now pushes forward, creating some momentum, creating some threats, but also a black knight on the edge of the board that doesn't create a great impression. So it does feel like Ray is playing with that initiative now, and talking about those diagonals that Tanya mentioned earlier, things are starting to open up. Queens are staring off against each other as well, so maybe those will be traded, but initiative white.
This is also a game that feels so familiar to me in the freestyle world, where so many of the minor and major pieces are sitting still on the back range, just kind of staring at each other from across the board. Not too many of them having developed, but plenty of sight lines opened. Regardless, when will those queens come off? Right now is the answer.
Definitely feels like advantage Robson. Obviously, you can see the computer agrees here, but time again also big in Ray's favor. Fun to see these two young American players that feel like I've been watching since they were 6, 7 years old playing this event. I think this is the first freestyle event for both, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know where I would rank their chances coming in, although Sevian does make a living of winning online events a lot. He's won himself at least a couple freestyle Fridays since we launched that event. So, but right now Ray's position just looks way more comfortable. You can probably grab the bishop here if he wants with something like knight f6. If he's into that, maybe find some other way to keep the space.
Huge platform for these youngsters. I will point out there's a poison pawn hanging at the edge of the board. The bishop from one end of the board could slide all the way across. But you've got to do so much calculation for that. Yes, you grab a pawn, but potentially trap your own bishop at the edge of the board. If black was to push his own pawn next to it, 1 step forward, and then get the king close to it. But I see the eval bar stays.
Yeah.
So this could be an opportunity for Robson.
Maybe d6 is your move, Tanya. d6 starts to undermine because you take c7 with a tempo with a rook. That's the maybe. And there's a discovered check if the king goes to b7.
But Robson doesn't do it.
He doesn't do it.
Okay, gonna play a little bit more conservative.